Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're having our first go at a bolt-action battle report. Hopefully you enjoy something a little different. This is a 1,000 point game between the British 1st Airborne and the German Panzer Lehr. The German forces begin the game deployed in defensive positions, awaiting the arrival of the British as they attempt to capture the town. The British will enter the battlefield on turn 1 unit at a time, with a possible preliminary bombardment to cover their advance. The British player must move his units to the enemy deployment zone or off the table to score victory points. The German player must simply destroy the attacking force, gaining victory points for each unit taken out. Unfortunately for the British Airborne, their artillery cover fails, landing harmlessly in a distant field in the center of the German lines. As the paratroopers move into the town, they come under immediate fire from a mortar team, narrowly missing an incoming squad as German troops scramble to cover, preparing for the enemy assault. The paratroopers advance on each table flank, confident their 11th Armor support can pressure the center of the German defensive positions. The Cromwell lumbers up the main road, firing at a potential MG nest, but missing the target. A German artillery spotter calls in a barrage over the British Cromwell's position. In another stroke of bad luck, the German artillery fire quickly saturates the area surrounding the advancing Cromwell. The paratroopers' own forward artillery observer is killed in the barrage, a nearby unit is shell-shocked, and the Cromwell is knocked out with a direct hit. Undaunted by their armored support being destroyed so quickly, the paratroopers continue advancing deeper into the town, opening fire on a squad of Panzer Lehr while they rush for cover. A single German soldier is killed. The German mortar team continues firing at the British center, narrowly missing a nearby squad. An unexpected HE round explodes in the British lines, followed by a burst of MG fire. 2 paratroopers are wounded as a Puma armored car leaves its concealed position and enters the battlefield. The German troops nearby rush to cover as the Puma suppresses the enemy. Paratroopers push towards a nearby building, taking reactionary fire on the way from the German occupants. The barrage fails to wound any of the British troops. The British sniper takes aim and drops a German MG-42 operator before he can deploy his weapon. Meanwhile, the centermost squad of paratroopers seek shelter from mortar fire inside a nearby building. A squad of paratroopers suppress a dug-in unit of Panzer Lehr before they rush their position, failing to kill any of the German troops. Without fear of British armor, the Puma quickly advances up the road and opens fire on a squad of paratroopers before they can assault a German position, killing 2 soldiers with his machine gun. The paratroopers storm in anyways and assault the Germans who recently fired upon them as they advance towards their building, both parties wiping out the other in a case of mutual destruction. As the gunfire and shouts cease inside the building, another unit of paratroopers advance to secure the location, while the surviving squad from the center road and the sniper team link up with them in the alley. German troops fire at incoming British as they take cover against a wagon, leaving a single man remaining in the squad. The lone paratrooper bravely charges into the open, peppering the German position with his Sten and taking out a single man. Taking the lone soldier's former position, a healthy unit of paratroopers further suppressed the German troops, wounding another soldier. The German armored car continues to harass the unsupported enemy as it flanks a squad of paratroopers as they cross a street into an alley, cutting down 2 more soldiers with his machine gun. With few other options, the paratroopers boldly assault the armored car, attempting to damage the vehicle with grenades. The Puma resists their assault and the squad breaks for cover again. The German officer and his retinue exit a building to assist their heavily suppressed comrades. They open fire on the lone paratrooper, but only manage to piss him off more. lone paratrooper continues his heroic charge into enemy lines, as the large squad of Germans break and run from cover due to pinning effects. As he reaches the stone wall, he opens up on an MG-42 team, killing one of the loaders and placing a pin marker on the squad. A squad of Panzer Lehr moving through the center of the board intercept a British Piat team and gun them down while they sprint through the open ground towards the Puma. The last full-strength unit of paratroopers rush up behind their lone comrade and open fire on the German officer's retinue, wounding both members and leaving the officer alone. Following the mortar failing to land another shell on an incoming depleted unit of British, the German officer sprays his STG at the lone paratrooper at near point-blank range, but fails to injure the man. The depleted paratroopers again try and fail to damage the Puma with a close assault. The armored car quickly disengages from the men and begins advancing towards the opposite table edge, but not before rotating its turret towards its former attackers and cutting the squad down with machine gun fire. Paratroopers rush the German table edge, putting fire on an MG-42 team but failing to wound any of the weapon team members. The MG-42 team removes one of their pin markers and returns fire at the paratroopers as they cross the street, taking down 2 of their number. The German player's last remaining reserves enter the field, a veteran squad fully equipped with STG assault rifles, mag dumping the unsuspecting British and killing 4 of the paratroopers. The initiative goes to the Panzer Lehr on the final turn, as the newly arrived veteran troops unload on the British sniper team, killing both members. The MG-42 activates next, targeting the 2 remaining paratroopers but failing to deal any damage. As the German officer reloads his rifle, the lone paratrooper vaults the stone wall and cuts him down with his Sten. Nearby paratroopers continue firing at the wounded MG-42 team, killing another member. The Puma armored car races towards the opposite flank and opens fire on a healthy unit of paratroopers from behind, but the bumpy ride throws the gunner's aim and the car fails to take any of the British troops down. The 2 remaining paratroopers on the opposite flank ignore the enemy and race for the German deployment to score victory points. Paratroopers vault over the stone wall and the corpse of the Panzer Lehr officer, while firing on a nearby mortar team, taking out a single team member. In a final act of spite, the cowardly unit of Panzer Lehr that recently abandoned their position gunned down the brave paratrooper while his back was turned to them. With so many of their forces depleted, the British Airborne cannot secure a victory, so the game ends on turn 6 with a German victory. The British player had a lot of bad luck earlier in the game, with his preliminary bombardment failing, and the German artillery taking out his Cromwell support, as well as his artillery observer in a single strike. It left him with little offensive options in the center of the field. The paratroopers showed their quality regardless and still gave the Germans a good bloody nose before being defeated. Captured members of the assault will be sure to tell the tale of the mad lad who ran through a hail of bullets alone and took out the German officer. The town cannot be left in Axis hands, however. A second attack will be organized with additional resources committed, as the Germans will surely use this victory as a chance to reinforce their hold in the area. If you made it this far, I'd like to thank you for your time and hope you enjoyed as always. There's lots of new games coming soon to the channel, including Star Wars Armada and A Song of Ice and Fire. I've been hard at work preparing new content for you all to look forward to, so keep an eye out and make sure you're subscribed if you like what I do. Till next time.